forget to click comments up top in the upper right.
Okay.
There
There
we
we
go.
go. You are live, boo.
Oh boy, what I always wanted to be alive.
Do. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today, and welcome to Solutions with Trevor Berryhill.
Yeah, Clack's too good for me now.
Let
There we go. Microphone. And Clack said, "Nope, not today." Okay, Mr. Clack, I got you.
me share this out.
Sure. Oh, you do. Yeah, you do that part. I'll do my just little group share.
Oops. I always do that.
Always a phone. Good morning, Mama Quill. My little flippy outy phone.
What's up, Sarah? What's up, Tony, Wig, Mama Quill?
Yeah.
Thank y'all for joining in. Please share the stream.
Today it's just problems with Trevor and Wyntis.
No, this is all you. I'm the producer today. The greatest woman producer. Hey,
Arkansas?
Sonia, Miss Beverly Burns, Victoria Wim. Hello, everyone. Arkansas. Didn't you say it was a law? You can't say Arkansas.
You can't say Arkansas in Arkansas.
Okay.
There's a fine that comes with it.
Oh, okay.
But we aren't in Arkansas, so I don't have to worry about no state troopers rushing in here. For that. We'll always go with that for that. Oh man. Went just pulling a double header today. She just got off of 2 hours from bump. She chilled in here for an hour, and now she's ready for another hour.
No, I'm letting you do it. I'm just co-signing.
Co-signing?
Yep. I'm just co-signing. I'm just sitting back and just co-signing when you need me. When you need me, I'll jump in and throw you a lifeline and pull you back up, and then we'll go back and forth.
Okay. So let's take a look at this real quick. Does anyone know how much you're selling Oak Park for?
Nope.
No.
Hey, Tia. Hey, Miss Rose.
360. What did they want a park for?
That for parking lot? I heard it was going to be no, seriously, like I heard they wanted to build a parking lot.
Wow. Wait, what do you mean I sound too much? 179K? You serious, Art?
Damn. Hey, Sherry Allen. That's my homegirl, Sherry Allen.
We're selling an entire park for 179K.
Ain't that crazy?
I'm buying a house more expensive than that.
That's crazy.
Imagine running a city so fucking poorly that not only can you not balance a budget, you have to start selling off things to make ends meet. And they're still not even going to make ends meet. Still unbalanced as hell. Our cops underfunded. We've only got like 10 of them. They're always down at city council. They know you by first name now. And I'm starting to get worried for that one young officer that constantly escorts Liddell out. Like, maybe she had a dream about him too. He saw what happened to Metcalf when she didn't get her way.
Right.
This man, this gentleman, his job may be on the line. That could be a little scary.
Yeah. I'm still sharing.
Ooh, Florida.
Who's on here from Florida?
Maurice.
Hey, Maurice.
And then we got Ms. Rose Morrow. Hello.
It's Janelle Bronx. Little Mama. Yeah. Trevor, not Trevor Tony. It's the land.
I really want to check what's underneath that land. Remember a year ago?
Asbestos.
A year ago, I was wondering because no one wants our water here. It's completely FUBAR. Anyone with half a brain back in 2014 said, no, we don't want to switch over to the Flint water, right? Except for, well, no, I can't say he has half a brain, but there's a very loud man down at city council saying, Mama has, the father has, but the child is blessed who has his own.
That's you sound like Arlington Curtis.
Who's that?
AC.
Ugh. Damn, I didn't wake up expecting to be insulted so much today.
Hey, Kathy King. Who is Yo? Hey, Yo.
Yo, I don't know who Yo is, but Yo is always in here. Yo.
That's damn, Terrence. How many damn pages do you got, man?
You got like 20.
That's because I see the Fred Sanford. That's got to be him.
Callie, damn, you got all the followers. How come shit pops up? Oh, because you at everyone and at followers. I don't have no followers.
You don't have no followers?
No, no one wants to follow me. I'm boring. I don't post shit. I come in here and talk shit.
They see because they know I'm flying the plane. I'm flying the plane. That's right.
But no, remember about a year ago. So we know the water's trash, but I wonder what's underneath the ground that it has all these companies rushing in here. I mean, it ain't gold, that's for damn sure.
We don't know that.
Okay. But there's other things that could be down there. I mean, Michigan just became the superconductor producing capital in the United States, or we're trying to. Lithium, nickel, a whole bunch of shit that they can just start pumping out. All right. From Arthur Woodson. It was a AFFF spill at GM occupational hazard. It's aqueous film forming foam, firefighting foam, and PFAS. He's using the big words. It's been commonly used to put out fires because it's so effective, but it has been identified as a big source of PFAS. Fire departments are now required to stop using it for training purposes and to report to us when they use it for all fires. Typically, we also proactively ask we get that report when the fire department has been on the scene of the release to surface waters. And then it cuts off. Yeah, I'm with Jeff here. I'm wondering if there's materials for making those lithium batteries somewhere underneath Flint. I mean, because if Ashley Capital is just going to buy that land and fucking put in a parking lot, it makes no sense. Vibranium. Someone's been watching too much Marvel.
Oh, okay, Miss Sherry. So the man that got shot was shooting at the police. No police was shot. Okay, thank you.
I mean, I'm sad to hear. Any loss of life is tragic.
I don't think anyone lost their life. I think it was just shot. I don't think it was.
Sad to hear. Anyone being perforated and ventilated is tragic.
Yeah, but you gotta.
You definitely want to go home at the end of the night. I understand that.
Right. You play dumb games, you win stupid prizes.
Done that a few times myself. Just never ended up with any new holes. Like, shot him in the buttocks. Shit.
Is PFAS also used as a lubricant? I don't know anything about that.
Leave it to humans. We find the dumbest shit in the world and we make all sorts of uses out of it. Anywho, I vote on policy, not image. Is Flint going to be a ghost town soon? Honestly, I don't know. I can tell you that there are extremely few people living here, and I can give you some sideways proof of that. If you go to uhaul.com, and if you look from areas like Texas, Florida, New York, California, any place in California, and you take a look at their rental prices to bring to Flint, it is a good 200% cheaper than to take those trailers out of Flint to those places. Why? Because they need people to bring trailers here. So they have to pay say, some contractor to haul those trailers up. Whereas when you bring it up yourself, it saves them money. But majority of the lots here in Flint are seeing their trailers disappear as people move out. It's mainly college kids that see no future here. People who've been here for long enough that they know the city ain't going to take care of them. We had, what, 94 million in ARPA funds come through to help the residents. And it all went to 501c3 nonprofits owned by some people's friends. And then 40 million of it went to the city for revenue replacement. Isn't that just a little fucking crazy?
Yeah. It's a lot crazy.
While that has nothing to do with why I'm moving, I can see a good reason for why so many people want to get out of here, because you've got these 6 folks that control the money, and that money is going everywhere but to help the residents of Flint. Mm-hmm. No one's trying to, no one's trying to help you get a roof on your house. Nope. No one's trying to help you fix a crumbling basement. No one's trying to help you with busted ass doors or windows. No one's trying to help you with your driveway. All these things that Flint residents could use. Most of our homes here are uninsurable, I found out. Most of them. Mm-hmm. And then to fix them up to be insurable is worth more than the price of the home itself. Mm-hmm. Well, shit. I might as well just leave the home for them. Go ahead, take it, whatever. Majority of people just want a place where they're going to be listened to and not taken care of per se, but things be made to where people can take care of themselves. Flint is doing the exact opposite. Mm-hmm. We're pushing out our own businesses. We're making it to where you can't build anything decent here for yourself. So they want to push you into apartments, as you said, by La Familia, right? Mm-hmm. Word on the street, your word, 99.999% correct. They're building apartments there. Mm-hmm. For who?
Probably the residents that they're gonna put out
condemn their houses,
right? Seriously, not laughing at that, but you know what I'm saying.
We can see it coming a mile away. Yep. The ones next to my place that they're building next to Club Sunoco, supposed to be veteran housing. Mm-hmm.
And it's all affordable. I think that a 1-bedroom is costing about $1,500 to $1,800.
That's not even affordable on a GI Bill here. Huh. So the post 9/11 GI Bill pays you to go to school and pays for your it pays for your schooling, gives you a little bit for your books, and then it gives you a monthly stipend. Monthly stipend for the zip code 48504 is $1,200 a month, and that is for your basic allowance of housing. When the U.S. federal government's basic allowance of housing standard doesn't cover what they're trying to charge you around here, there's kind of a fuck up. Mm-hmm. I know dudes who got out, went to San Diego, live with their mom and dad. They were getting over $4,000 a month, and that was double what they needed for a single bedroom apartment. Hell, we've got those damn green zone ordinances where if a lot has been cleared, you can buy the lot, but you can't build on it. I vote on policy, not image. If they lose too many people, the tax revenue will be gone, and the mayor will have to get a pay cut. No. They will cut. Hell, they'll get rid of that brand new ambulance that they just bought. They'll get rid of that. They'll get rid of a couple fire trucks. They'll tell Clyde that he's only getting paid to do 4 of his 12 jobs. That mayor's not taking a pay cut. That the mayor's office will not take a pay cut until Neely leaves that office. But we have green zone ordinances here, right? So they tear down old house. Finally, they let it sit for 12 years, let it fester and rot, all sorts of rats and bugs and crazy shit growing in there. They destroy it finally. Okay, cool. We can put up something new. No, you can't. For why? Because we want Flint to be beautiful and green. I just want a place to live, motherfucker. So a modular home, modular, manufactured, in other words, say double wide, anything like that, prefabricated, you cannot build in the city of Flint, which is crazy to me. We're talking about a housing crisis. Do you know how much one of those homes cost brand new with options? About $80,000.
Which ones?
Just like a manufactured double wide,
Oh, okay.
brand new. You can sit there and you can, okay, I want a soaking tub. I want a nice big walk-in shower. I want a walk-in closet on the large bedroom suite, two smaller bedrooms side by side with closets, massive kitchen, open floor plan or split floor plan if you like. All of that less than 80 grand. But they want you to build these $150,000 homes that you just can't afford. Because once it's built, then you get the mortgage to, for it, 30-year fixed rate. Right now, national average for a fucking fixed rate mortgage is 7.8%.
Jeez.
So over the course of 30 years, you're going to pay close to $250,000 on that. And then let's not forget, City of Flint loves its taxes. They just raised the taxes around here and they're reassessing everything. They have a new formula to see how much it's worth. So that new formula raises it, then they raise the percentage on it. You're looking at close to $15,000 a year in taxes on that sort of thing.
It's crazy.
That was one of the first things me and my wife looked at. Like, hey, if we buy these 4 lots, 2 on either side of us, could we get a manufactured home? Looks good, feels good, you know. Then we go and take a look at ordinances. No, you're not allowed to have those in the city of Flint. I'm like, well, shit. What if I do a barn dominium, which is you build a house and then a pole barn around it? Really good for insulation. No prefabs at all in the city of Flint. That is just so goddamn much. Miss Beverly Barnes, if you cannot build on it, what can you do? There are some things that you can build. You just need a lot of permissions. Mostly storage sheds, things of that sort. A new home, you basically have to buy the certain type of home that they like. In other words, make it look like Rich Personville, which we all know Flint ain't. There's a couple areas of Flint, very nice, 6-figure income areas. Cool, fine, dandy. But they want the rest of Flint to look like that. But for the rest of Flint to look like that, folks like you and me, we're not going to be the ones building there. As Mr. Maurice Davis says, first time they bought you out, now they're going to tax you out. We are the blight that they want to get rid of.
Tiny homes, Trevor.
Oh, fuck. Don't even get me started on tiny homes for veterans. Okay, so the city is all about veterans. I've seen it everywhere. Oh, this is going to be chalet. This is going to be, Veterans Appreciation Day and so forth and so on and all. Let's all stand and applaud. Okay, well, that's a great sentiment, City Council. You know what I'd prefer more, though? I don't need you to kiss my ass. I just need you to respect the fact that I want a home that I can raise a family in. A tiny home? Hell, even as a single man or woman, what are you supposed to do with a tiny home? Oh, I'm living there to get off the street. Okay. How about you actually take care of these problems by, I don't know, inviting the VA to put in a small regional office here for all the paperwork and administrative purposes. We have to go just outside of town to the township to get our VA healthcare taken care of. If you really want to take care of vets, there are certain things you can do, but tiny homes is not one of them. That is an empty fucking gesture. Oh, yes, we care about our homeless vets. Cool. No, you don't. Because You also don't care about the homeless population, period, here,
Very true.
which has been growing. Homeless vets don't need extra care. We just need you to care about the homeless, period. Find ways of bringing jobs in. Find ways of, say, tax incentives for those new jobs to hire those hmm, disenfranchised, the people without a home. Hey, you know what? We'll even pay for a post office box for you. That way you have a solid address to get your mail. Then you have a place to put down as your residence on job app. And hey, this new business comes in. Guess what? You're getting an X% tax deduction, tax break for hiring these homeless folks of the city of Flint. Then a lesser tax break for just hiring people from the city of Flint. You can't make an ordinance saying you have to only hire them. And community agreements, well, we know how that goes with the city, right, Candace? But just a tax incentive to hire residents of Flint and a larger one to hire homeless residents of Flint to get them on their feet. Instead of giving them a handout, give them a hand up. Oh, yeah, Sherry. That's the thing. If the original residents of Flint, if the regular working Jill and Joe who have no problem going, elbow deep into a job, working themselves to the bone and, accomplishing something for the day and feeling good about it, but, make maybe 60,000 a year, which in my mind is actually pretty good living, but to the city that's low. They can't have us living here. They want more. They want chalets. They want, you know, country club type bullshit. So 150K, 250K tiny homes. Okay, what they're going to do is they're just going to tax you out. And they're going to make sure that there are no jobs around here for regular folk. No, they want investment bankers. They want, Ashley Capital to come in and basically turn Flint into cheap labor workforce for a warehouse job that's just going to use them up and wash them out and spit them back out. You're maybe going to work at that warehouse for 2 or 3 months before they get tired of you. Oh, it's about time for a promotion. No, time to go.
When do you think they're ever going to get any tenants for that space over there? Have you heard about any talks?
No, I honestly don't think that they're going to get any for a while. What business wants to move into Flint with a shady city council, high crime rates, and tax rates that are ludicrous? 150K to 200K now for a tiny home. When you can take a look at manufactured homes, brand fucking new, shipped to where you want it, even with the shipping, you're paying a total of about 90K. It's insane to me. Oh, it isn't just Mott. Mr. Herman is a good one to look at. The cherries, which I know if Mickey were here, he'd be saying, oh, here we go again, jumping off the plane. But let's take a look. Flint, reinvestment. And then, God damn it, what's the other one? So Flint Reinvestment Group or Investment Group, the ones that own the parking meters downtown.
The DDA? Downtown Development Authority?
Yeah, them and the Flint Reinvestment Group. If you take a look at who's on their boards, Herman and Miss Cherry. Miss Cherry being our senator's mother, state senator's mother.
They on the DDA board?
Yeah. Oh, here's the next fun part. She's also on the land bank board. How much sense does that make? Does that not strike you as a conflict of interest, Wyntis? So she knows what's coming up on the land bank. She knows when these properties are going to be demolished. And the downtown reinvestment or the Flint Reinvestment Group, either or, whichever suits or whichever this property suits better, gets bought up by one of those two for rock bottom price. And then they turn into a profit, even though they're supposed to be a nonprofit corporation. Oh, we're fixing Flint. No, you're buying Flint out and you're moving people out. I'm sorry. But Flint is the only place in the world I have ever seen this sort of conflict. Hell, before I moved up here, I didn't know what the fuck a land bank was. I'm serious. When the city would take property down in Arizona or in Colorado or in Texas, or the county did, it just went straight to auction. There was no letting it sit and rot for years. It just blows my fucking mind. How are you supposed to raise a family like this? When you have to take a look at the jobs around here and think, will I be able to support a family? No. Okay, will myself and a spouse be able to support a family? Depends on how many children. Depends on what part of the city. Okay, so now I'm living in the part of the city where there's happens to be a lot of crime. Oh, well, I don't want to raise kids where there's a chance that they could eat a stray bullet. So now I'm moving. Whereas other parts of town, we'll take a look down by Miller Road, those homes go for quite a bit. We're talking 250K plus. Those are folks that work out of town for the most part. A few downtown in some of those buildings. When you want to live and work in Flint, you are giving up a lot. When you want to live in Flint and work somewhere else, then there's opportunities for you. Or vice versa. If you live somewhere else and come and work in Flint, you're making a lot. And I know you're friends with Mr. Freeman. It feels like there's a certain amount of culpability.
Well, like friendships, I can separate friendships and business.
Okay.
So, like, I may not like a lot of the things that he does in business, but I don't let that interfere on the friendship side.
I'm just saying, it feels like there's a lot of culpability, and this has been happening long before he got here, but it hasn't stopped since he got here. And while there have been one or two new programs that popped up, it feels like it's more pandering or catering to the city or to the residents of Flint rather than actually doing something about it. Killy Sept, the land bank.
Now he's going to be the Community Foundation president.
There we go again. Favoritism and people coming back to take nonprofits or take a position on a nonprofit in the city of Flint, and they're going to make even more money. I don't like Kildy. I've heard that he is supposedly getting better with his illness. That is great. Happy to hear that. But he brought a different type of illness to Flint years ago. The master plan that city doesn't even own. Planned shrinkage, getting rid of services in the area. And I don't foresee any real fix to these unless you remove majority of council, replace them with sympathetic ears. You remove majority of the county commissioners, replace them with sympathetic ears. We stop pandering to nonprofits that don't do anything. I mean, shit, that money could have just been straight up spent to enlarge our blight department and take care of the problem ourselves. Instead, we're now having community cleanups where you can rent the city of Flint's dumpster. Hold up, wait. You're saying these folks are getting $10, $15, $20, $30,000, then they get to rent the dumpster for how much? $1,000 a day or so? It sounds kind of like a turnaround to me. Oh, we'll give you the money. You just turn around and give it back to us so it goes right into our general fund. Well, do I also have to pay the city to clean up some of the city's properties? And there's so many other scams going around. All right. My daughter mows the lots next to mine. She grabs grandpa's ride-on mower and she just mows those. Okay, cool. Fine, sweetie. Thank you. Neighborhood looks great. Guy comes by not 3 hours after she's done, remows it, takes a picture. Clean green program.
Oh, okay.
He didn't mow it. He just kind of rode along. He didn't even have his mower deck down. But he's getting paid for those lots. Crazy, huh? We know so many people that, oh yeah, it's a great thing for kids for the summer. How about we find actual jobs for our kids for the summer? And to do that, you have to find actual jobs for the adults because The way I've always viewed it, McDonald's, Burger King, KFC, those type of things, working that was for teenagers to get their feet wet into a professional world, learn how to have a job. Not just learn the job, but learn how to have a job. But because Flint is so fucking piss poor at bringing in companies, we have people that are making whole ass careers out of those jobs. So there's no place for our kids to go. It should be get that job, okay, cool, learned how to have a job, got a paycheck, go to college, or go to a different setting of a job that I can actually grow in, and then the next generation take over. Instead, we now have kids with nothing to do. No job, no money, more time on their hands than they know what to do with. My sergeant major used to say the most dangerous thing in the army is a private with too much time on his hands. And I cannot disagree with that. Hell, my wife is terrified of me when I get bored. Why? Because I will find something to entertain myself, and it usually ends up in a horrible accident where I end up hurt. That's the same thing with just about anyone. Boredom is a disease. So if you are not actively, gainfully occupied or employed, you're going to go out to find something to do because sitting around your house all day staring at a wall sucks. And let's face it, TV isn't as interesting as it used to be.
Unless you're watching 810.
810 is not TV. 810 is interactive news.
It can be on TV. Put it on there. So I got some stuff to throw out at you, and I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you want to play?
Do I have a catcher's mitt?
Would you like to play a game?
Oh, God. Whoa. Calm down, 7th Ward.
Jigsaw.
I'm going to get in trouble for that.
So listen. Nearly rescinds thousands of property notices sent to Flint water customers. So he announced that the reversal in a news release on Monday and proposed a plan to spend $250,000 in federal stimulus funds for water payment assistance to roughly 9,000 households that owe the city more than $17 million. So Katie O'Neill, the communications director for the city, said there's about 4,000 active accounts, 4,000 inactive accounts that receive lien notices, and an additional 1,000 households were also in line to receive the notices before Neely made the decision to stop the process. So the city's announcement of that decision said that no liens will be placed on active accounts and that the owners of the properties where the water been shut off will have until May 24th to make arrangements on their inactive accounts to avoid a lien. So what's your take on that?
Campaign ploy.
So he's not up for anything until 26. So,
but what he does wrong affects his wife.
Oh, okay.
I mean, 2 years ago, after I lost my race, and I was talking about Stat EMS. Remember driving down Court, I think it is, and on the right hand side there's that large building right by Gamers Escape, the old Stat EMS office, and it had that giant ass Cynthia Neely sign outside. And I said, it makes sense because a campaign sign for one is a campaign sign for the other. The only difference between their two campaign signs was the first name and the coloring. But the Neely spelt the same way with the same font and the same style. So this was going to go through. And now Mayor Neely, I honestly think he pushed it through to look like this in the beginning. People are going to have liens on their homes. They're going to lose everything. And then he suddenly comes up with this miraculous plan with all this money to say, no, we're going to stop this. He set himself up to be a hero. Why? Because his wife is campaigning. What one does affects the other. And I also want to remind people that Stat EMS, the same place with that giant ass Neely sign out front 2 years ago, went under, upside down, broke as a joke. And that's after they got an exclusivity contract from the city of Flint to be the first one, or first ambulance service called for any emergency inside the city of Flint. Unless they were busy, then they had a subcontractor. But guess what? They never had any ambulances that were ready to go. Most of their fleet was down for repairs, or their employees were understaffed, so their employees were taking time off that was dearly needed. they eventually went under. What one does affects the other. They know that Cynthia cannot stand on her own 2 feet. So Mayor Neely is having to go out of his way to set up crises to solve, to show the Neely name in the news in a positive light. Because as you said, he told you by that upcoming election, the Neely name would have been on the ballot 4 times.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And people vote based off of name recognition.
Correct.
I honestly think if I were to run today, which thank God I'm not, that I would at least triple my amount of votes because Trevor Berryhill has been on 810. It's all over Facebook. It's all over YouTube in the Flint area because people will just recognize the name. They wouldn't even have to watch the show. But people commented and called in to say you can't make payment arrangements on past water bills. Once again, true enough. So you honestly, I don't know how that's going to go. Anyone who would be affected by this, tell us the process and your experience with it once it goes through. Because I want to hear about what hoops they're making you jump through to receive this, or if they made it easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, what about the people that had their water shut off and lost their homes? Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't, because they assumed you already moved on. If you already lost your home, they assume that you are outside the city of Flint. Therefore, they assume that you're not a voter that anything they do really affects. They don't care. It's never been about helping people. I'll say it again. We are the blight they want to remove. They don't care about the houses, the overgrown lots. They don't care about people throwing their trash in the streets. They don't care about anything of that sort. They don't care about the diseases coming into Flint because they refuse to take care of rats' nest and fleas' nest. They don't care about that spill that Art's been up there investigating. They don't care about any of that. They care about keeping votes, which keeps them money. And then as soon as election season's over, they sweep it all aside again. They ignore it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, depending on the term or who's running. And then they try to put on a show that they care again. I think as long as we've been on, going on what, Wyntis, about 2 years now?
Yep.
We have always said, look at who's in the race and what happens after the race.
Bingo.
We see periodically one activist, I ain't going to say his name, he will pop up, make a big fuss, and then dip out. And when I say dip out, I mean the man goes elsewhere in the country for months at a time, enjoys his life there, and then comes back, causes a mess, screams, shouts, hollers, doesn't do anything. When it's time for him to come back, he finds a project that's already happening, that all the groundwork has already been done by some community leader. He jumps on it for 5 minutes, and then he bounces again. And you see that over and over and over again. Hell, some people don't even have to show up. When was the last time we heard a speaking engagement from Cynthia Neely? When was the last time we saw her show up to a debate or a candidate forum? When was the last time we saw her in a commercial? The only thing we see is Facebook posts by her campaign team, obviously written by her campaign team. That's just one of them. You periodically see a post from some of our city council people saying, I'm doing the work, taking a picture with a community organization that has received no city funds doing the work. And then they'll show up, get a picture with a shovel. Or in Eva Worthing's case, get a picture with a pink hard hat. And then bounce the fuck out, not having done any actual work. Oh, well, I support them. Terrific. You know, you can say you support me all fucking day, but without putting money in my bank account or helping me clean my fucking home, I don't give a goddamn. It's just truth. Verbal support means absolutely nothing unless it comes down to your vote. And then you see what it actually means. because we hardly ever see any of these actual community organizations not asking for money, but asking for a resolution change, something that'll help not just them with their goals, but help out others. So, with the same goal or with a similar problem, or help people help themselves, you don't see those resolutions get voted on by these Facebook council people that just pop up, get a picture, and leave. They're also the most problematic people on city council, the ones that pick fights, the ones that take offense to every time someone breathes, the ones that give out warnings like they're Oprah Winfrey giving out cars. You get a warning, you get a warning, you get a warning, and you're out of here.
Well, I got another alley oop for you.
Thank you.
So, you having someone trespass on your property before,
Mhm.
you know that's not a great feeling.
No, it's fucking horrifying.
So, how do you feel about Doug showing up at people's houses putting letters in their mailbox?
All right. Given what we know of Doug,
Mhm.
I will say that he is tenacious. And by that, I mean he doesn't know when to quit. He is very vocal. At times, I think he's unhinged. We've seen him. We've seen him go after Tanya a lot. That has been his main focus for a long while.
Mhm.
So when he just shows up at someone's house to drop off a letter in their mailbox, to me, maybe I'm just paranoid, but that doesn't mean they're not out to get me. To me, that says I know where where you live.
That's scary.
That sounds like a tacit threat to me. And it may be the most flowery, beautiful letter ever written.
Right.
It still says, I don't agree with you and I know where you live. That's why you won't see me going around any council person's homes,
Right.
because I wouldn't blame them if they saw me roaming around their place and knowing I disagree with them. Politics is very scary.
It is.
Politics is very heated. So, no, like Doug definitely should be getting a lot of restraining orders. Don't come to my place. Don't leave me that letter. You know what? How hard is it to find an email associated with my name? How hard is it to find me on Facebook? Any one of those. Or hell, you could look up in a registry, see their address. Obviously, you know where their address is. Put a fucking stamp on it. Because what he just did, shit, Exxon back in the 90s had an entire post office SWAT team raid their asses. I'm not kidding. I don't fuck with post office police. They have SWAT teams.
But it seems like they're not doing anything. I mean, Liddell got away with
How many?
Well,
Yeah, how many of those do they put in mailboxes?
how many did Doug do?
No, Liddell.
I don't know. Like
Yeah,
he had
like
a
Doug did
bag,
one.
like he was going through, No, he did more than one.
Oh,
The lady sitting by, Linda Booth received one in her mailbox, and I'm not sure how many more.
Yeah, no,
received it.
that's more than creepy.
So he's like literally going to board members' homes and putting letters in their mailbox.
And like I said last week, Doug is one of those extreme white liberals where if you don't agree with him, there must be something wrong with you. If you don't see the way or things the way he does, there must be something wrong with you. He's unhinged. So if he's showing up at people's houses to drop off these letters, no, I take that as a very implicit threat. Clear and present danger, stranger danger. Keep the fuck away from me.
Right.
Put a stamp on it. Obviously, you're well enough to do. I've seen the way he dresses. I mean, for an old man that's wearing some sort of diaper, he does look dapper. He can afford a fucking tag or a stamp.
He reminds me of the CFO. What's your take on the CFO?
He's a very, very nice man who is very absent-minded, and that's what they want. Look, if the man can't keep up with his own business, I mean, he looks frumpy. He looks like he forgot how to throw on his jacket. How's he going to remember numbers when you're asking him? Don't get me wrong. Like, he seems like a very nice man. He's just not the type of man I want running my city's finances. I'm trying to read some here.
Are you trying to read that?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go.
That had to be said. Professional making money off of causing demise of people. Then chase the paparazzi, get a picture to be recorded on the wrong side of history while I'm looking at a young man with a growth on his neck for the last 10 years, the size of a grape to the size of an orange, and the docs say he will not grow out of it.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, the last part I'm tripping, but it does seem like they chase paparazzi. Remember, they didn't start being angry at Eric Mays until they started looking bad with the TikToks, showing who they really were. I'm talking about certain council members.
I I I think they had him. They had it out for him from the start.
I'm saying they weren't mad about the TikToks.
Oh yeah, definitely not mad about the TikToks.
They weren't mad about the TikToks until they started looking bad. And then the second that happened and 810 started popping up, showing the whole picture, not pulling a Paul and pulling the plug on certain events, but showing the whole picture, they started coming up with their own social media.
But we were there before
Mm-hmm.
the TikToks.
Yeah. But we were also receiving a lot of hate.
Yeah.
And it just became more visible when they were talking about it on public record about Eric Mays and his TikTok. But then Liddell started up her own podcast. I don't know if that's still going on. I think it floated like a lead balloon because no one was interested in hearing what she has to say. We hear it all the fucking time at council. She makes sure you hear it. She screams at you. And then we see all these fake accounts popping up that type everything the exact same way and always show nothing but support for certain council members.
And it seems like they blame every freaking fake page
on you,
me, or either Art. Like, I sit in front of a camera every day. I don't need a fake page.
No, I don't see where you have the time for a fake page. You can barely keep up with the Wyntis Hall page in your own phone.
But I don't need to hide. I'm on camera. I don't need to hide.
Mm-hmm. Whereas them, they know that if they come outright and say some of the things they're saying on some of these pages, there'd be a massive backlash.
Absolutely correct.
And like Eva.
Oh, there you go.
She would sit there with snide, backhanded comments on snide, backhanded second accounts. The second she was off council, she knew that she couldn't be voted off no more. She knew that she couldn't be, held accountable. She came out with some of the most racist shit I've seen come through her thumbs, and that's saying something.
That surprised me.
Like, they will do anything to get in that seat. Fuck you mean they? Mm-hmm. Oh, they only went and knocked around the regencies. Say what now? I'm sorry. Like, I don't know that man at all.
He didn't go. When he said when I asked him that question in the jail, I don't know if you've seen that forum, but he never went in there.
Well, I'm just saying, I don't know the man. I haven't met him. I didn't support him because I didn't know. I didn't know any of them up there. Mm-hmm. Something tells me that with the number of votes he got, there was a lot of doors being knocked that weren't just in one single area. That just shows enough.
But on the flip, it also showed how much she's engaged with the 9th Ward. Excuse me. Well, nobody can see but you, but it also shows how engaged she was with the 9th Ward, with her making statements like, I've talked to all of my constituents. When you have over 8,000 registered voters and you have a voter turnout of less than 6%,
mm-hmm.
That's who's listening to you, buddy?
None. And just showing the turnout to vote for someone that wasn't Eva was massive because no one ran against her. No one was motivated to go out and vote. So you see these 3 candidates line up, and then you see a nice majority going to Mr. Jared. It showed that they wanted something different. Someone not Eva, not endorsed by Eva. She sank that man's chances when she said she endorsed him. I think it was Mr. Page.
Paige Brousseau.
Yeah. She said, I endorse Mr. Page. That sank it right there. He had no hope at that point because no one liked Eva because she didn't really represent her ward at all. She didn't put forth any resolutions to support her ward. She didn't support any resolutions that would have helped multiple wards, including her own. And she spoke against her own ward on several occasions or people of her ward. She got in shouting arguments with others from the 9th Ward in the middle of council. But, 26.2 don't apply. It's 26.u.
So, breaking news. You want some breaking news for your show?
Oh, God. What's up?
So, tomorrow from 4 to 5, the DDA will be at the budget hearing. I mean, they're coming to ask for, we've seen this resolution where they're asking for $500,000, well, a little bit over $500,000. So they should come and present.
Yeah.
I think that would be very interesting. I'm just wondering who they're going to send because the lady that they sent the other day is the lady that answers the phone. She just had a very fancy title.
So a secretary by another name?
Well, that's what I want to say. She could have advanced. I don't know.
She could be the executive director assistant.
That's true. So, and I believe that our mayor is chair of the board at the DDA, but I heard that they have a new director. Not too sure, but I think that's going to be worthwhile. Just listening to the DDA tomorrow. I think that would.
I do like the idea of them asking for money and then having to present instead of what we've been seeing with these nonprofits. Yeah, we're going to clean up blight. How? What's your plan? Do you have a plan of action? Do you have any volunteers? That should just be stock standard anyway. And you said, I think this morning, the police are going to be presenting their budget soon.
I will have to look it up for you again. I think it is transportation and sanitation tomorrow, along with. Oh God, hold on. I'll let you know in a second.
Oh, speaking of sanitation, I watched one of those big yellow garbage trucks nearly run a Nissan off the road coming up here by the old Tim Hortons at
Really?
yeah, at the slider place.
Savory sliders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like nearly ran that little Nissan off the road. I'm like, oh my God.
Well, an MTA bus hit a 90 something year old woman outside a council meeting Monday. Yeah, kind of just like mutilated her truck she was in.
It didn't mutilate her.
I don't know. She was taken away in the hospital and in an ambulance. I did hear, and this is all allegedly. Before, I'm just saying what we heard in council chambers because we were inside at the meeting. That it was a trainee firefighter who stabbed the airbags to get her out the car. But I mean, 92 to be shaken up that bad. I'm just prayers for the family that she's okay. And
I did pray for her because how shitty would that be to make it to 92 years old?
Yeah.
Born in the 1930s, lived through World War II, Korea, Vietnam, attacks, up and downs, the Cold War, all of that, and be taken out by a bus.
All right. Oh, I would like to get Trevor's thought on this. So Sean Sims said he just saw the willow tree people in a nice Range Rover on 24. Sell that truck and get you a lot of willow trees. So
actually, my wife and I have been pricing out nice willow trees.
So what do you think about the whole willow tree resolution? Do you know much about what's going on with that?
No, I'm sorry. Anytime it comes to that, I just have to block it out because all I ever hear is area beautification, area beautification, area beautification. Nothing for, I don't know, anything for the folks. I mean, I can look at beautiful trees all day. Don't make my life no better. I guess I can use them to string up a tent.
But the thing about it is that the guy who's over it, the fiduciary, he's from Pontiac. And he's going to get administrative fees from Flint. So why have you seen anybody from like go to Pontiac and get ARPA dollars?
No,
So why are they coming to Flint?
because Flint got more. And Flint's pretty loose with its money.
Mm-hmm.
You know that one friend in every friend group that is desperate to pay for all their friends' shit? That's Flint. Like, oh. Yeah, I see that you've got enough money coming into your city, but let me go ahead and give some of your friends. Fuck them trees. No, so me and the wife been pricing out some willows, some nice cherry blossom willows, actually. And I think for a young tree, about 2 years old, we're looking at about $400.
For a willow tree, they said they had they planted like over 2,000 of them.
Where?
Over Fourth Ward, Kersley Park area, but they said they're not the big willow trees, whatever that's supposed to be.
It's not a fucking willow tree.
Well, maybe it's a miniature willow tree. I don't know.
I mean, shit. They're trees, not dogs. No one's running around falling over for a miniature willow tree the same way they would for a miniature or a teacup poodle.
And that's right, Clack. Trees can't fix pipes or fight crime and blood.
Here's a good thing. I've seen Mr. Bruce post this a lot, right? So we've seen the service lines replaced. Me and Clack have been bitching about the main lines. But Mr. Bruce Stires, he's been showing a lot of pictures of plumbing from inside the house itself, where there's corrosion. So the pipe, half-inch pipe, corrosion is covering up a quarter of that on the inside.
I've seen that.
And we ain't got shit for that.
I've seen that.
I mean, taking a look at some of these homes, to redo the plumbing itself, you're looking at close to $50,000. 50 fucking K. That's more than most of these homes.
60 feet. They grow that tall?
Hmm?
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. That's why me and the wife have been pricing them out. Like there's
it's a wall.
It's massive. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. I plan on putting them around my house and having a privacy curtain of willow tree. Anyway, but the concerned pastors, while they were concerned, in the lawsuit, there was nothing for the provisions of replacing pipes inside the homes. When it comes to people saying, oh, we got to do X, Y, and Z, the WIN funds never did anything about that. ARPA funds never even spoke about it. So even if they were to replace all the city-owned pipes, there's stuff inside your house is still killing you. They can test that water all they want. The second it comes out of the city lines into anyone's house lines, it's fucked up. You have to replace the entire thing, not just sections. That is millions of dollars more needed to come into the city of Flint. Unfortunately, the city of Flint fucked up its credit because we received close to $1 billion over the water, and we still haven't fixed it. Our administration has not done all the things it's supposed to. We have not replaced all the pipes. It's been over a fucking decade. I don't know what to do at that point. If they want us gone so fucking bad, this is the best way to do it. Because either they're going to tax you out and they're going to take your home, or they're going to push you out because you can't afford it. And let's face it, the quality of life here does not match the cost of living.
Right.
Or thirdly, they're just going to kill you the fuck off. Because if you're still stubborn enough to stay, those pipes are still carrying shit that'll kill you. And whether you drink the water or not, you still have to bathe in it.
So that administrative consent order where they said things were deficient, what's your thoughts on that?
How long have they been deficient?
It's true.
We should have been up in arms years ago.
And stayed up in arms.
Stayed up in arms.
Yeah.
You can't, when something is that fucked up, that wrong, you can't just let it slide. You have to be on it until it's fixed. Because the second you let it slide, you just gave them consent to keep doing it or do it again. Oh, I can take this political backlash for a month or 2 or 3, however long the unwashed peasants want to be pissed at me. We stopped being angry. Honestly, had people just not allowed any business to happen, and I mean literally walking into the middle of City Hall downstairs and having a sit-down protest until everything is done. Don't be outside. Go inside. Crowd up the walkways. Make them have to step over you. Make them call the cops to remove you. The second you get out of that cell, go back until it's done. But now, if we were to do it, you've lived with it for 10 years. You've lived with hell, you've lived with the crime problem here that the city has refused to address for 15, 20 years.
Crime is down. They've addressed it. There was a beautiful press release that was put out.
That's the only address, because they changed up how, like Tanya and Mr. Mays and Art talked about on one of their Zoom lives in 22. They changed the way that the 911 distributes the police calls. Some of them, they don't even send an officer to. If an officer doesn't show up, there's no report. There's no report. There's no record. No record. It looks like things are down. They manipulate statistics all the time. It's easy to do, just like with the water. Oh, the water levels are fine. This year, we're going to test your water. Your house is, X level. Come back next year. One small thing has changed. Oh, that picture was hanging over there. So now you're on a different schedule. So this test doesn't count. They manipulate those statistics. So crime is not down. Someone just got shot in the ass yesterday. So
yes, I hope Mickey is watching, because Clack is solving crimes on A10 News Media Group. So he says he knows the guys.
Clack, you're gonna have a cop knocking on your door later. All I can say is that I was nowhere near around there. I know nothing about it.
We don't know nothing, man.
I don't know shit. What was that old comedy about a bunch of POWs trying to get out? I see nothing. That's exactly how I feel right now. I don't see shit. Cops come by. I don't know shit. Someone else comes by. I don't know shit. I just live in my little box. I don't care. Leave me alone. Have a good day, please. But no.
Army vet.
Unfortunate. Oh.
No, veterans. Give it up to you guys. Fighting for our country. Saved lives. Could have lost yours. You made it back. Take pride in the American flag.
Yeah.
Take pride in the flag being raised.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about Mayor Neely putting his name on the flag over at the, I see your eye jumping, over at the service center on Cloud Road? And I'm not sure if it's his own flag or if he attached it to the American flag. That I don't know. I just seen a post about it on Reboot.
I reserve the right to remain silent at this time. I'm sorry. That's fucking disrespectful. Like, not just the flag, because, so I'll say it like this. I'm not loyal to my government. My government's done fucked up things in the past. It does it every day. Loyal to my country and what it is supposed to represent. It doesn't meet what it is supposed to do all the time. It's getting better. We're getting closer to it. And I take pride in that. And the flag is supposed to represent that. And man's throwing his name on everything. I just saw some yard signs, Mayor Neely's water or blight department sign. He's throwing his name out there. Why? He has to have his name on everything to help his wife with her campaign. The more the people see Neely name.
Doesn't that make you feel like for people that are in politics, we know, I kind of take offense to that, because that's making me feel like that's how shallow you think people's minds are. Like, they just see and they're going to vote because, oh, I remember seeing that name somewhere, which works.
It does.
But
I also remember a quote from him that you had told me, that folks in Flint have a short memory. I can't remember the entirety of the quote, but that was the gist of it.
Hey, old Clack, Clack be solving crimes.
But am I not right? Neely, when he was running for mayor the first time, said people in Flint have a short memory.
Yeah. I was helping at that point.
So yeah, I see his name. He must be doing something good. His name's everywhere.
He puts it everywhere.
Yeah.
And if you go to the polls, if you're not someone that's politically educated and you walk into the poll and you look at that piece of paper, you are going to vote for the name that you know the most. And they've done it here in Flint. School board election. Not, I don't think it was this past one, maybe the one before that. It was our old superintendent used to be Anita Stewart. Okay. It was a lady running on the school board, first name Anita. This lady scored, I think, over 3,000 votes, maybe more than that.
Then when she got elected, everyone's like, "Where's Anita?"
And she didn't want it. Right. That was the one. So
Claudia Perkins. Same thing with the last school board election. I remember in 2020, she lost to Tanya Burns, but her name was everywhere. And then when it came to the school board election, people remembered her name. So they saw school board. I remember Claudia. Let me bubble in that name. I remember, like, that is another thing. And then some folks, they're going to remember getting a little thing in the mail about 2 years ago. Mayor Neely's water credit. Remember, he threw his name on that.
Sure did. Well, I mean, it's just like Trump. He threw his name on the stimulus checks.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. You watch a lot of news. Maybe you can tell me. So they agreed
Joe
to
Biden pooped himself.
Joe and Don, they agreed to 2 debates, one in June, one in September. And then I heard that Joe backed out. So I don't know which did he
Joe
back
keeps
out?
on going off script.
Okay.
So he said yes.
Okay.
His administrative team said, no, the hell you're not. No, the hell you're not. So it's still looking like a no. Which.
So what is your thoughts? Like, I'm not really sure. I don't know, Democrat or Republican. I think we should look at each individual. What's your thoughts about this presidential election?
I think no matter what, it's going to get dirty. And by the time that votes are actually cast, we're going to see a bit of anarchy for a week or two, no matter who wins.
Okay.
It's that polarized where people can't just sit down and say, well, I'm voting for X because he's done X, Y, and Z. Well, I'm voting for Y because he's done X, Y, and Z. And then compare and contrast the points. Instead, it's, you're a racist bigot. Oh, well, you're a I can't say the things that Republicans have been calling Joe on here. So you're those things, or you support those things, and it comes to blows. There is no actual political discourse or debate anymore. Everyone knows who they're voting for already. Why are we campaigning?
That's true.
I don't think there's a single person I have spoke to around the country playing my video games or coming here talking with people around Flint. There's not a single person I've spoke to who says they are undecided. The only elections that actually matter in terms of running right now are your Senate and Congress. Now, on local scales, always keep an eye on local. Honestly, I'm keeping my eye on a race down in Texas. There's District 23. Brandon Herrera is the challenger going up against an incumbent, Tony Gonzalez, for the Republican seat or for the Republican run. He got him down to a runoff election. Okay. So I'm keeping an eye on that. Honestly, don't know what's going on here with the 8th congressional district. I haven't seen anyone really talk to Flynn about it. I know Neely dropped.
Yeah, Pam Pugh. That's the one she's in, right?
Yeah, she was going for Senate, then she converted over.
Okay, so I'm like you. Just haven't seen a lot of talk.
Yeah,
Like I see her out. I did invite her to church the other Sunday when we had Friends and Family Day. She came.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't seen a lot of people talking.
And then our Senate race, I haven't seen too much.
I don't even know who's running.
I know Hill Harper.
Yeah.
That's about it.
It is about it.
I mean, the front runner hasn't even.
Listen, Slocklin.
She hasn't graced Flint with her presence. No. I mean, so I don't know. Like, there doesn't seem to be anyone that actually cares about Flint in the long run for those elections. I know for our local elections, we've got 7th Ward coming up. Mm-hmm. We've got 1st Ward coming up, don't we?
So let's start over again. So we got 1st Ward coming up. What are your thoughts about that? We can talk about that.
I think he understands the current holder understands the assignment.
I agree with you.
Come in, sit down, shut up, vote the way we want you to vote. Don't say anything. Don't embarrass us like Candace.
He has not said anything
at all. Like you can tell those were his instructions. We will give you this. Just don't say anything.
Yes, no support call to the question.
Exactly. Whereas if they'd say put in Carol, there'd be questions, there'd be debate. If they put in Miss Rose, there'd be questions, there'd be debate. It wouldn't just be a rubber stamp vote. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to seeing this election. I'm personally going for Miss Rose. However, that's not an endorsement from 810. That's just me saying who I'd like to see in there. However, if he goes into this election and he tries to win instead of just, all right, I did my appointee thing, I'm stepping back, and he does win, I'd like to hear his actual thoughts on things rather than yes, no, call the question. I would like him to be more vocal. I mean, how are you going to represent someone if you're not going to try to get answers for them?
I would love to see a debate between whoever's running for the 1st Ward.
We should talk to Mickey and see if we can't put on another candidate for him.
That would be cool.
Just like at the library last time.
Yeah.
Because, that had a lot of great reception.
Right.
I think Carolyn Weaver. That's true, James, but that's not on me to judge. You guys know how I feel about that whole thing. Mm-hmm. How is Hill Harper? He's very intelligent, but what's his platform? He's visibly. So Wyntis interviewed him. Mm-hmm. What was your feel?
I didn't really get a feel. I thought he answered everything appropriately, mm-hmm. as he should have. My God, he's an actor.
Yeah,
So
he's got a poker face.
So he really he answered everything correctly. He took control of that interview, mm-hmm. and he made it his own. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen much of him since. I've seen him at the gala in Benton Harbor. I think he's been back to Flint a couple of times for like a town hall.
Do you think he's going to check out that chalet?
Yes, in the year 2052, when actually one may go up. but
do you think we'll catch him at the strip club when it's complete?
Probably not. Probably not. But other than that, I mean, I don't know about his politics.
Yeah, he seemed more interested in the type of politics that I'm not really for, more identity based, mm-hmm. rather than policy based.
Right.
Like there's a lot of policies I think as a senator, a federal senator, could not just benefit Michigan, but directly benefit Flint. And I didn't hear too much about that. But I'm not hearing anything about that from anyone.
Right.
Which is the problem.
I can't vote Republican, but Democrats smile in my face and my water's still bad. And that's true. I mean, so Trevor, what do you say about what year did you move to Flint?
2016.
Okay, so you seen when um Gretchen came, she had a big bus
With
that
Mayor Weaver's face on it.
with Mayor Weaver's face on it the first time.
Mhm.
Second time, she was asked to kindly stay out of it and let the residents decide, but then she still backed Neely, and then
Mhm.
she backed off when
When
his whole
Fox News broke he doesn't have an
degree.
actual degree.
Right. So she's had her hands in both races. What do you think? She doesn't need us anymore. She's turned out.
No.
Haven't
And
seen her. Roads still aren't fixed. Water isn't fixed.
Gretchen is your stereotypical politician, though. She will promise you the world, and then when you come back and ask for it, she'll give you a laundry list of excuses. Okay, hey, you said you're going to help us get clean water. Didn't happen. You promised Mayor Weaver support in her fight to fix the infrastructure in Flint. You fought her. Okay, well, you promised the folks this most recent time that you would support Mayor Neely in removing blight, fixing our roads, X, Y, and Z. It's been 2 years. Where are you at? I can't say that Republican's much better either. I mean, shit, Snyder poisoned the entire city. Honestly, I'm probably voting third party on a lot of things this year.
Okay.
Like, because as far as I know, libertarians haven't tried to kill an entire city, nor have they left entire cities to poverty and ruin with ill-conceived spending plans or just throwing money at a problem, which I have a problem, period, with anyway. If I have a hole in a wall, I'm not throwing a wad of cash at it. I'm going to go patch the fucking hole.
Right. So, what else do we got to talk about?
Oh, man. I would say the fight that almost was, but I get a phone call again. Which, thanks for that. My entire family is up in roar, Miss Beverly Biggs.
The bra. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, I laughed for a while too, and I'm like, fuck. Fuck. I know what I'm getting for Christmas this year. A baseball club to the chin.
Beverly Flowers. Right. Okay.
So, they want to put Doug on the Ethics and Accountability Board, huh?
Yep. We're hearing that since the Micah, whatever that lady's name was, resigned, that Candace is allegedly going to appoint him as her 7th ward pick. So how do you feel about an appointee appointing someone?
I'll go
appointee
back.
has a lot of power.
I'll go back to our first ward appointee right now.
Okay.
He understands the position and role of an appointee. Yes, no. That's all you should get. Because whose vote is it really, right? If you were to appoint someone, whose interest is he really serving? In that case, we'll go with the first word as an example. He was appointed by several of his peers. The people of the first word had no say in that thus far. So those peers, it would feel like the appointee would be more, I don't want to say loyal, but more in line with other council members' thoughts and feelings, right? So it's the same for Candace. So she's an appointee. Who gave her that seat?
Really? I'm council.
Council.
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 8 and 9.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Kenneth probably wants to kick himself in the head for that.
No, he probably has been. He's learned a whole new way of flexibility.
Right.
He can do it both forwards and backwards now. Right. So, with her being appointed, and we know the people that appointed her loyal to Neely, except for one now.
Yeah. He was appointed by the 5 that suspended Eric. Let's not play games. We all know what's up.
Yeah. It was a happy thing for them.
I don't think it was the 5 that suspended Eric James. It was the 5 that took Eric out of his presidency. Is that what you're talking about?
Both. But what I'm saying is,
very true, Keisha.
Those that appointed Candace are loyal to Neely. Neely told them who to vote for. So Candace, loyal to Neely. Where did Doug Matthews come from?
It's the same thing we've been asking ourselves for months now.
And why did he come here? From what I heard, he was recruited. He was called in to take the ombudsperson position. Well, he didn't get it, and now he's here. He moved here for that position. They have to give him something.
Because wasn't he in another country?
He keeps saying New Zealand, but I don't hear no accent. New Zealand has a very distinct accent. Okay. It's almost Australian, but better. Like a snooty Australian. Okay. But yeah, he was called here for that, and now all of a sudden, he's been playing around in the political world, picking fights with Tanya, and you know exactly what that's going to do on the Ethics and Accountability Board. Every week, he's going to bring up something to get the board to vote on something about Tanya. Oh, that's unethical. We must hold her accountable.
I'm still listening to you, Trevor.
Yeah. Anyway, we must hold Tanya accountable. And it's every meeting there's going to be an attack on her. Or if not her, Dennis. If not Dennis, Jerry. It's going to go round and round and round. Every Ethics and Accountability Board meeting. Nothing's going to get done until they finally cave into him and set that precedent. Mm-hmm. It's just going to turn ethics and accountability into as much of a laughingstock and a joke and a circus as our city council is. And that's not throwing no shade. Just saying that nothing gets done in there. Granted, ethics and accountability is a joke in and of itself in the first place.
We're talking about speaking on the same line of crashing and burning. What are your thoughts on, and I do remember all of us talking about it on various podcasts, about the abandoned schools that are now,
catching fire.
Do you think we got a serial arsonist on our hands?
Yes. I think we got several arsonists on our hands, okay. And each one with a different agenda. I can understand some people getting sick and fucking tired of the city and the land bank not removing homes that have been blighting their neighborhood for damn near a generation now. Fuck it, I'll burn it down. Burning them
up is not helping.
No.
Because now you got a burnt structure.
Used to be, those got removed pretty quick.
Right.
Used to be, not anymore, but that's what some folks are hoping. Some folks might be just trying to get some quick, cheap, free land.
Have you seen the church on the corner of Hamilton and Saginaw Street?
Yes.
Big church, just burnt out. Can look straight through it.
The UAW outpost right across from Rube's. It's an older UAW. It has burn damage on the inside.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I walk by it periodically when I'm going to George's University Mini Market. I walked up to it 2 weeks ago, peered inside the window. Yeah, there's burn damage. That place burned down.
What do you think a solution could be for the schools? Do you think they should bundle these abandoned schools and sell them, or give them to
I don't know if anyone will buy them with the structure still standing. If they do, then it's going to be at a severely discounted rate. honestly, what I would suggest the schools do, spend a little bit out of pocket now. Destroy all these old schools. Yes, it may cost you a few mil. That's a conservative estimate. But then sell the properties without these blighted structures on them for higher, recoup your losses and then some. And then you're not also having to pay fucking outrageous fire department bills.
Mhm.
You're not having to pay liability. You're not having to pay insurance or any of those problems. It is literally taking a problem off your plate and getting paid to do it.
Mhm. So invest into the demolition
Yes,
of, these
that's
abandoned schools.
and that was part of what the slate last election was all about. We got to get rid of some of these older schools. We got to, before we do anything else, these older schools have to go. They're costing us money. Once they go, hey, we've got A, money from selling, and B, we're saving money, and we've got less of a headache. Maybe we can pay our teachers right.
Clack's term is up this year.
Yes.
Is it strange to you that we haven't heard who plans on running for that 2-year seat? Have you heard
Kind of,
anything?
but I'll say I didn't know Clack was running until the day before the candidate forum in 22.
Okay,
So I don't know when you have to register for that one.
right.
But yeah, I hope Keisha's not running.
Well, I haven't heard much from her, but
I don't feel like going ape shit on her. Like I've got plenty of other people to talk about. I don't need another, especially one that hang out with a fucking child molester. Keep the fuck away from our kids.
right.
No, that's about an hour and a half though.
Oh, I forgot. It was so much fun.
It was. Yeah, it's nice to have a show with you again, even if it's temporary.
Well, you know what? All you gotta do is invite me. I would love to run the camera anytime you guys need me, and Clack can sit over there, and he won't have to run back and forth.
And he gets to show his face and talk at the same time.
Yes, he can.
Oh my goodness.
Doesn't have to
A
do
double hitter.
So, close us out.
For an impromptu episode, I think we covered a lot of ground here. Like, honestly, I heard Clack wasn't coming in last minute and went to like, I'll be there. I'll run the camera. I thought it was great. And it turned out to be better than I'd hoped. We didn't really talk about too much other than, well, no, we kind of talked about everything, but we didn't go into depth on too much. I just don't feel
people enjoy it. That's all that matters. I mean,
I just don't feel that there's a lot of solutions we can talk about to the problems of Flint right now without first solving the problem of who's on council. You have to have a council that is willing to listen to the people and put money into the proper things rather than just throw it out there to their friends. It all starts with the money. Whoever controls the money and has the interest of the people at heart is probably where we're going to see the most amount of impact. And that isn't just city council, though. That's your state rep. That is your state senator. That is your congressional rep. That is your congressional senator, your federal. You have to keep an eye on who controls the money and then where the money's going from there. Because if there's someone that has extracurriculars on the side, they're probably not for you. You don't make them as much money as they make themselves.
The name but can't say last name is similar to my first. Okay. Have to figure that riddle out. Thank you, James. Yes, I enjoyed with Trevor today. So, Trevor, it's one thing before we get off of here. I think that we all need to do and take the time out on all of our podcasts is to not only push the importance of voting, but also educating the voters on how to pick who has their best interest in heart.
Yeah.
And quit voting off of the friends and family plan.
Yeah. And what was that YouTube account? I vote on policy, not image.
Yeah.
That's a lot of it. You could have the best candidate in the world look frumpy and he won't get a vote because people are voting off that image rather than someone who's talking about an actual policy of, look, there are three things I look for in a candidate: identifying a problem, having a plan to fix that problem, and then execution. Without a plan to fix that problem or a plan to execute that problem, just because you see it don't mean jack.
Right.
Or you talk about beautiful flowery things and how a utopia is going to be. Well, how are we going to get to that utopia? What roadblocks do you see to that? If you're just going to sit there and spout large dictionary words at us all fucking day, I want you gone. Get off the stage, pass the microphone to someone that's actually going to interact with us. I hate people who pontificate, who think that they have to use big words to sound smart. You can sound smart and cuss like a sailor. You can sound smart and use small words. You just have to understand how to speak in the first place. You have to understand that there is a problem and how to properly articulate your thoughts and feelings.
Absolutely agree.
But we see too many people that go up there who just read a thesaurus and just spouting out random words. I'm tired of it.
They agree. Our viewers agree. The ones that are in the trenches with you, fighting, planner and execution is crucial, Trevor. You're right.
I mean, one of the biggest things for executing is finding out who's going to be an ally in whatever body you're trying to be elected to. If it means you have to sit quiet for a week or two or a month or two and figure out who you can approach and say, look, I've got these problems. It looks like you do too. Can we work together? Can we propose a bill or propose a resolution together and start taking some of their support for your own product, for your own bill, whatever? That's what I want to see. But when you just want to run up hard charging, waving your saber around, well, we got to get this done. You're going to do shit. You're going to push people away. Yelling isn't the only way to get things done.
Very true.
And I'm not saying backroom deals neither. Keep it out in the open. I mean, fuck. Flint's been fucked over by backroom deals so often. I don't even think I'll leave that one alone. Leave that one alone. That one almost went bad.
All right. Well, let's get out of here before it goes bad. Well, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. It's been great working with Trevor today and filling in as the producer. Shouts out to A10 News Media Group, and the greatest woman producer in the world, myself. I pat my own self on the back, and it was a pleasure joining you on Solutions today, Trevor.
Thank you, Wyntis.
All right.
I can tell you've been going to the gym, though, because trying to watch you pat your back, you've got that feel or look on your face. Sore muscles.
All right. We're out of here, guys, and we will see you back. What's today?
Wednesday?
Nothing else today. No, I don't think anybody's going down to council to cover those budget hearings.
No, because they're all bullshit.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
No one's asking questions.
Glad you guys all enjoyed the show today. So we will see you back at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning for The Bump.
The Bump.
See you guys.